Seriously, did you notice anything funny at all? Did you see a black kangaroo in the video? A big monkey? No?
We were busily concentrating on the number of houses.
Okay, so let's see if there is a monkey hidden there. Everyone missed, right? So it should be somewhere hiding. So the point here is that all around us there is change happening, which is signified by the black monkey. We are so focused on doing our own stuff, our own work, that we don't actually notice that monkey. That monkey can either be having a pot of opportunities or can bring a lot of threat. So it's very, very important that doing the work as well as noticing which monkey is around. So far the highest count is 24 and the lowest count is 11. Now we have 9. Someone said 9. So the count is still on.
Tesla, basically about 100 years ago, the thought that you wouldn't want to transfer electric power wirelessly, no one ever thought of that. They thought, who would use it if you did? And so in fact, he actually set about doing a variety of things. Both the Tesla coil, this tower was built on Long Island back at the beginning of the 1900s, and the idea was it was supposed to be able to transfer power anywhere on Earth. We'll never know if this stuff worked. Actually, I think the Federal Bureau of Investigation took it down for security purposes sometime in the early 1900s. But the one thing that did come out of electricity is that we love this stuff so much. I mean, think about how much we love this. If you just walk outside, there are trillions of dollars that have been invested in infrastructure around the world, putting up wires to get power from where it's created to where it's used. The other thing is, we love batteries, and for those of us that have an environmental element to us, there's something like 40 billion disposable batteries built every year for power that, generally speaking, is used within a few inches or a few feet of where there's very inexpensive power. So before I sort of got here, I thought, I am from North America. We do have a little bit of a reputation in the United States, so I thought I'd better look it up first. So definition number 6 is the North American definition of the word suck. Wires suck. They really do. Think about it. Whether that's you in that picture or something under your desk. The other thing is, batteries suck too. And they really, really do. Do you ever wonder what happens to this stuff? 40 billion of these things built? This is what happens. They fall apart, they disintegrate, and they end up here. So when you talk about expensive power, the cost per kilowatt hour to supply battery power to something is on the order of 200 to 300 pounds. Think about that. The most expensive grid power in the world is thousands. So, fortunately, one of the other definitions of suck was in there. It does create a vacuum. And nature really does afford a vacuum. And so, what happened back a few years ago was a group of theoretical physicists at MIT actually came up with this concept of transferring power over distance. Basically, they were able to light a 60-watt light bulb at a distance of about 2 meters. They got about 50% of the efficiency. By the way, that's still a couple thousand times more efficient than battery. The same thing. But we're able to light that and do it very successfully. This was actually the experiments. You can see that coils were somewhat larger. The light bulb was a fairly simple task from their standpoint. This all came from a professor waking up at night to the 3rd night in a row that his wife's cell phone was beeping because it was running out of battery. He was thinking, local electricity was out there on the wall. Why couldn't some of that just come into the phone so I could get some sleep? He actually came up with this concept of resonant energy. actually do transfer power magnetically and wirelessly, only over a very short distance. What Dr. Soyachich figured out how to do was separate the coils in a transformer to a greater distance than the size of those transformers using this technology, which is not dissimilar from the way an opera singer shatters a glass on the other side of the room. And it's a resonant phenomenon for which he actually received a MacArthur Fellowship Award, which is the nickname of the Genius Award, last September for his discovery. So how does it work? Imagine a coil. For those of you that are engineers, there's a capacitor attached to it too. And if you can cause that coil to resonate, what will happen is it will pulse at alternating current frequencies at a fairly high frequency, by the way. And if you can bring another device close enough to the source that will only work at exactly that frequency, you can actually get them to do what's called strongly couple and transfer magnetic energy between them. And then what you do is you start out with electricity, turn it into a magnetic field, take that magnetic field, turn it back into electricity, and then you can use it. Number one question I get asked, I mean, people are worried about cell phones being safe, what about safety? First thing is, this is not a radiative technology. It doesn't radiate. There aren't electric fields here. It's a magnetic field. It stays within either what we call the source or within the device. And actually, the magnetic fields we're using are basically about the same as the Earth's magnetic field. We live in a magnetic field. And the other thing that's pretty cool about the technology is that it only transfers energy to things that work at exactly the same frequency, and it's virtually impossible in nature to make that happen. And then finally, we have governmental bodies everywhere that will regulate everything we do, and they've pretty much set field exposure limits, which all of the things in the stuff I'll show you today sort of sit underneath those guidelines. Mobile electronics, home electronics, those cords under your desk, I bet everybody here has something that looks like that, or those batteries. There are industrial applications, and then finally electric vehicles. These electric cars are beautiful, but who is going to want to plug them in? Imagine driving into your garage. We built the system to do this. You drive into your garage, and the car charges itself because there's a mat on the floor that's plugged into the wall, and it actually causes your car to charge safely and efficiently. And then there's all kinds of other applications, implanted medical devices where people don't have to die of infections anymore. They can seal the thing up, credit cards, robot vacuum cleaners. So what I'd like to do is take a couple minutes and show you actually how it works. And what I'm going to do is to show you pretty much what's here. You've got a coil. That coil is connected to a RF amplifier that creates a high frequency oscillating magnetic field. We put one on the back of the television set. By the way, I do make it look a little bit easier than it is. There's lots of electronics and secret sauce and all kinds of intellectual property that go into it. But then what's going to happen is it'll create a field, it will cause one to get created on the other side. And if the demo gods are willing, in about 10 seconds or so, we should see it. The 10 seconds actually are because I don't know if any of you have ever thought about plugging a TV in when you use just the cord. Generally you have to go over and hit the button. So I thought we put a little computer in it that has to wake up to tell it to do that. So I'll plug that in. It creates a magnetic field here. It causes one to be created out here. And as I said, in sort of about 10 seconds, we should start to see. This is a commercially available color television set. Imagine you get one of these things, you want to hang them on the wall. How many people want to hang them on the wall? Think about it. You don't want those ugly cords coming down. Imagine if you can get rid of it. The other thing I wanted to talk about was safety. So there's nothing going on. I'm okay. And I'll do it again for safety's sake. Almost immediately, though, people ask, how small can you make this? Can you make this small enough? Because remember, Dr. Soyachich's original idea was his wife's cell phone beeping. So I wanted to show you something. We're an equal opportunity designer of this sort of thing. This is a Google G1. It's the latest thing that's come out. It runs the Android operating system. I think I heard somebody talk about that before. It's on. It has a battery. It also has coil and electronics that WiTricity has put into the back of it. And if I can get sort of the camera, yeah, okay, great. You'll see as I get sort of close, you're looking at a cell phone powered completely wireless. And I know some of you are Apple aficionados, so they don't make it easy at Apple to get inside their phones. So we put a little sleeve on the back, but we should be able to get this guy to wake up too. And those of you that have an iPhone recognize the green center, and Nokia as well. You'll see that what we did there is put a little thing in the back to do that, and it probably beeps actually as it goes on as well. But the screen typically uses to light up the screen. So imagine these things could go. They could go in your ceiling. They could go in the floor. They could go actually underneath your desktop, so that when you walk in or you come in from home, if you carry a purse, it works in your purse. You never have to worry about plugging these things in again and think of what that would do for you. So I think, in closing, sort of in the immortal visions of the New Yorker magazine, I thought I'd put up one more slide. And for those of you that can't read it, it says, it does appear to be some kind of wireless technology. So thank you very much.
So this was demonstrated in 2009, and as of now, this is available as a commercial product in the US, where people can buy wireless electricity production units in the US. And there is a continuous research still going on, so that they can increase the span of the power, so that instead of being close to the source, can we make it small enough so that the entire house gets covered. So, okay.
Okay, let me sit over there. That's probably a better room.
So actually there is a smaller conference room, since we have only a few people here, so we can just regarding that. I am the single point of contact from SAP, so you can always reach out to me, and we can see how we can take it forward. Yeah. So probably.
I am Suresh Yadav. I am from the Hindustan Flourishing Mills. This is a pesticide waste company, and I am handling the whole SAP.
I'm Hamza Salim. I'm heading the Kashtai group here, and heading the all over India as well as world also. So SAP is being implemented now in India, and then we'll be moving to Kazakh, UK, and Abu Dhabi also. So we are in the phase of rolling out.
So primarily SAP ERP,
SAP, yeah.
not the other products.
No, other product also we have taken. Other product like BPC we have taken BIPO, and we have taken HR also.
And they have not been implemented, but they'll be implemented over there.
Yeah, basically at first phase we have put on SAP RC BIPO.
We have the mainly all India 22 branch, and those are totally dealer distributors networks. And
Pull and share. So dealer distributors they don't access SAP.
access all the branch. Dealer distributor access, our branch will access.
Branch people will.
I'm Jyoti from SAP Active Duty Support Team, and I represent customer interaction.
Sorry.
Okay, so I'm Jessie. I'm again from the Customer Interaction Center. I head the team there from Bangalore. We are located globally, so any point of any escalations or any queries that you have regarding your technical tickets or regarding your contractual data, we are the first point of contact. So we then trigger it to the concerned teams within SAP to have it escalated or expedited.
This is a session that was planned that
Yes.
was supposed to do.
I think you should give the cards also.
Yeah, we will.
I think as part of this, we can also spend right now or later 5 minutes on. I don't think we'll have formal presentations. Doesn't make sense, but since you come all over the way, so whatever you had thought, if you can just share with us those messages and maybe right now,
I think
or maybe after the introduction. Yeah, sure.
I'm Ashwini from SAP Global License Auditing Services. We usually audit all customers globally, so we are seated in Bangalore.
So we as customers don't like you. Anyone who does license audit, so no session from two of you. There was more on the lighter side, but what I had requested him was that if we can have a few minutes question answer session, because many of us as customers are kind of scared of license audit. We think that these guys are just trying to make money. Being blunt, so you guys are just trying to make money by kind of scaring us. So I know that that is not true. Just having worked with SAP now for 15 odd years, in SAP, so that's not true. I know that part, but most of us really don't know. So maybe between two of you, if you can share with us as to why the audit is done and why we should not be scared of the audit. And next time you guys come and we offer you cheap biscuit and be happy.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Manish Shekhar. I have a dual role. I head the pre-sales for NetWeaver for India, and I'm also responsible for license audit.
Sorry, I just sandwich between the auditors. Okay, my name is Vijay Sethi. I head the IT at Hero Motocorp. Earlier it was Hero Honda, so now it's Hero Motocorp. So I've been kind of involved with SAP since the day SAP in Delhi had only two employees. One person was heading Delhi office and one of his peons, so there are two people. I remember 96 or 97. So since that day, I think now SAP North has really grown a lot. So that's what I believe.
Hi, good evening everybody. I'm Ekdeep Jaikar. I also have carried dual responsibility. I'm basically a part of the MGTM, that's your maintenance services, the support services, and the compliance team also.
Good evening, I'm Sanjeev Sridhara from Aircel. Basically, we're using SAP for our ECC6 and for BO, and we're planning to buy this IM project and for mobility also.
Yeah. Just to brief you on what we use, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell. We use ECC6, we use BI, BO, CRM, SRM, NetWeaver, Solution Manager, really everything from SAP.
Good evening, I'm Deepak Mathur from Shriram Pistols and Rings Limited. We are using ECC 6.0 for the last 5 years, and AP also we have implemented, but to some extent, not fully. And we are looking for a solution from the HR point of view, which we are in touch already with SAP. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening. I'm from Intex Technologies, and we are using SAP ECC 6.0, and we also implemented BIBO this year.
Good evening, everybody. Myself is Anil Jain. We are representing GBR Hyper India Private Limited, and we are under the implementation of SAFE Business One module. And in the implementation stage, we are having a lot of interaction with customization during the team, but still there are some unanswered questions which we are having. So we will, after having the question answer step, we will ask the questions from the concern and hope we will get answers.
I can tell you that even if you don't get an answer right away, probably I'll try to fix you up.
But it will be some solution for that later on also. Yeah, because
we'll try to help you as much as possible.
Good evening, my name is I'm Tushar Agrawal. I'm from Giver Hyper India Private Limited, and same as our
we are having a
same problem.
Good evening, myself Inder Weiss. I'm working with Honda Motorcycle and Scooter India Private Limited. Our company is using SAP in two modules, FICO and HR. I am responsible for HR function.
So EC6 now?
Yes.
Hi, I am Abhishek. I am from the same company, Honda
Parna
Motorcycle.
didn't come. Each and two of you.
Pardon?
Parna Ghosh didn't come.
Parna Ghosh didn't come. Actually, he was busy. After that, department head was busy, division head, so all they were busy. They said just you can review this thing. So currently the scenario is that only 2 modules is implemented at full. That is not also in the full fledged. So we are going to plan a fresh implementation. As we are in the developing phase, we are having only one factory. Second factory is just run. plan to for the third factory. So we are planning for that we will go for a SAP full-fledged implementation for the second F. For that sake, we have called SAP also. They came to us and done a feasibility study. After that, they will give the review report. So this is the current scenario. We both are taking care for the support for that particular two modules. This is the thing.
Honda Cars doesn't have SAP.
Actually, I have just joined 15 days before, so
No,
I am just analyzing what is going on there.
Honda car do not have it. They have
some other system.
They have one customized system that has been
Honda
developed.
Japan
Yeah, Japan one.
In production, we are also using PC Pack.
They were in the process of implementing this. They have put in the team also. Siemens was the partner. What has happened with them is they wanted to have a codification. Exactly the way they have coded here.
How 16 digit, 17 digit में problem हो गई थी ना?
That's right.
I remember those.
So in between they have,
code does not allow so many digits.
because at that time I was Shriram group, so I was also visiting code. Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
We are having a very big landscape, but still we are not using SAP. We are having a different TRP, PC Pack. After that, service portal, DMS, that for our dealers portal. So we are using a number of technology, Java, .NET, very big scenario, but we are trying to map all these things in SAP.
Yeah, I was a little late in joining. My name is Piyush Tiwari. I am part of the MGTM team. So anything related to support or support services, you can say one of the contact point for that. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. So probably over to you, sir.
What I thought, maybe we'll take two sessions first. 5-10 minutes with Jesse and then just maybe 10 minutes each, 15 minutes, and then we can have 10 minutes of general discussions. We'll try to close by 7:40, 7:45 latest. And that's how I see. If it's raining outside, it will take a lot of time even to go back. So I sit here for sake of sitting. That's why I see. Over to you.
Okay. I mean, we have prepared a presentation, but I think now it's more important that we have an interactive session. So first of all, I really want to understand from you what exactly do you what is your feedback on the support, because you work with various modules, you're raising a lot of tickets with SAP. So what is the kind of feedback that you have on support, and do you really feel that the support that you're getting is optimized, and do you feel there is a gap for improvement, and how well we can do it?
Response is very slow from yours. If you submit in medium,
right.
there is no response even for sometimes for weeks.
Okay.
You can check our records.
Okay.
Similar cases, ours also.
Yeah.
We have faced one problem in the recent, it was a month-end activities, all our customers were trying, SAP was not responding properly, we raised in a high request and we got a reply after 14 days.
And also linked would be, does the quality of response that come, is that good or bad? Over time pass, you put in customer action and then again go for another 10 days.
I like a few words about it. When basically SAP has raised their premium charge from 17 to 20%. At that time it was communicated to all over world according to me. Now it will be your service will be your escalation base.
And also KPI based.
And KPI based.
That was one point which I wanted to raise.
And according to a team from SAP visited to so many customers, and they have given a presentation also. What is the current model vis-a-vis where SAP is going?
Absolutely. Yes.
Right? But frankly speaking, whatever these people are facing, the moment you raise any ticket very high, immediately you receive a phone call. Whether your entire production is stopped, your company was stopped, why you have raised very high? And suppose you raise light and medium, frankly speaking, either response is not going to come or response will be coming still after many days.
Well, I guess this is a concern across the globe, where the response of the messages has been delayed. The response may not be, the expected response is what you want from SAP. Now, we have analyzed a couple of tickets, and I mean, we have to work together in order to get the responses really, coming to you at the right time and at the right angle. Now, I want to understand that when in case you raise a ticket, which is a medium or a high ticket, and you feel there is no response provided to you in 3 days, 4 days time, do you know that there is a support hotline number that you could call and get the tickets escalated?
But the response
You,
is
you, know, you know what reply I got? Sorry. What reply I got one day? Suppose you wanted to raise, say, 2 tickets in very high. This is the number. This is the mail ID. Rather than raising your ticket into the system, you can pick your phone and call to me.
Well, that is okay. I wouldn't.
So the system doesn't capture that there is a very high ticket raised.
I'm so sorry about it, but I wouldn't be able to comment on that because that's not the process.
And I am sitting in the same office where we say SAP Live exists. I'm just sitting at the first floor here.
Right. Well, ideally, that is not.
Please come to third floor. Let's discuss.
But then, would you be able to get the name of the person who actually told you that?
I have to see my mail. I can
then maybe we can because that's not the process. Because as per SAP process, any issue that you face technically, irrespective, you can go ahead and raise a ticket. The issue that we face from the customer interaction point of view is, I understand there are millions of tickets that's created on a daily basis. We are a global setup. We have people around the globe working on the tickets. Now, when it is a very high message, you definitely get a 24/7 support. However, if it is a high message, I would not know what was communicated in your first presentation, but we do not give a 24/7 support for a high message. It is communicated that your initial response time would be 4 hours, and your ticket would be worked during the business hours. Now, in case you feel that your high ticket is in the mode, in an escalation mode to get into a very high, or your core businesses are affected, we do have a 24/7 hotline number. You would need to call that hotline number, and there are people around the globe who are attending those calls. I think the first question they're going to ask you would be, okay, can you give us a ticket number and can you please tell us what the business impact is, so that we could then trigger it internally to our escalation teams and tell, okay, this particular ticket is in the escalation mode. This is affecting the core businesses. They might have a workaround, but it is not feasible, and somebody would have to take on the ticket immediately.
I have a different opinion on that. Your call was there in 4 hours. I told them my entire billing has stopped. They said we are working on it. In fact, I have given a solution. Okay, you take your time. I have this intermediate solution. Can I implement it? They said no. And after 14 days, I am getting a reply.
Yeah,
this is the way. So it has affected my business.
Right.
And I have to reply to my management why this thing has happened at the moment.
Right, I understand. So which means, you had a ticket which was very high, which was critical for you, and you had informed that to the processor.
The person was speaking to us on regular basis, but no solution was available.
Yeah.
So I think there is one thing which probably we need to understand. It's
be
not that there was no response.
There was a response.
There was a response, but the solution was not available.
At the end of the day, we are looking for solution. We
Exactly.
don't care about response.
Right.
No, what I am trying, the reason why I brought to light is because of the simple fact that within SAP, probably, I don't know, you can correct me if I am wrong, but it is measured, the KPIs are measured in terms of response,
Right.
and not in terms of solution. So that's something probably it's an action item for you on how you can improve
Or it
that.
could be both actually,
process.
response and resolution.
Yes.
Most of the companies have response and resolution.
I'd like to add one point here. Now what happens is that when you're creating a high priority message and if a person is constantly in touch with you and there's a gap of 14 days, now if you contact us as customer interaction center and they say, okay, this message is there and it is open since say 7 days or 8 days or whatever the cases are, and then in that case we will internally analyze the issue, what's happening, where, what things have gone wrong there, whether the processor is not available or whether he's not working on the message. Accordingly, we will channelize this query to the right people and get it escalated.
So what we could do is, internally we could inform. So if I am a message processor is working on your ticket and you have given me a feedback like, well, this processor is not able to give the solution and he's been just going ping-ponging the message and he's been asking me to open the connections and it doesn't work on it till the connections are closed again. Then he keeps sending the message back to me saying, reopen the connections, which means the time is getting wasted there. So when you inform us as the first point of contact as customer interaction center, we trigger an email to their managers saying, okay, this is happening and this is critical and this.
But how you are reviewing the tickets? It should be some internal process, how much time it has taken us, 14 days.
You can't be waiting for a customer call.
No, in this case, what happens is that maybe the information provided by you at the time of creating the message, maybe you have given the detailed description of the message, but maybe from the business point of view, you have not provided the detailed information. Like, for example, your billing process is completely on hold, or whatever the
He has
information
analyzed the
that-
problem, and we are aware of the solved problem. We have discussed the complete problem. This is the line where we are facing the problem. Even the line of coding we are diagnosed. And we are informing you as an SAP whether we should do it or you should do it.
You are waiting for the final confirmation from us.
So I think rather than going on and on this, so what I would suggest is there are two aspects to it, as I see it, as a someone neutral, as a customer advocacy manager, as my title says. There are two things that we need to look here internally. One is doing the postmortem in terms of if something like this is happening, why is it happening? And how can we improve this process? So that's one way of looking at it. The second way of looking at it is in a proactive manner. So which means that we need to figure out or put in place processes and checks and balances so that when the message is being processed, at that time itself, we are able to catch these instances, and these are exceptions rather than the norm. So we need to work on these two, at these two levels is what is the feeling that I get after all the discussion that I've heard.
Correct.
So that's something probably you can take it as
See, I understand what you're saying, Mukesh, but when you speak about proactive monitoring, I mean, we have so many customers in India. We definitely cannot go ahead and get into each customer and proactively.
You don't have to do it for all.
Proactive monitoring would mean, for me as I understand, simply that if a call is not closed for 1 day,
exactly,
then someone should raise an alarm. Why should he wait for 7 days, 14 days? That's the only thing which
yeah,
I understand.
So maybe you can send those cases to us and tell us.
Why should anybody even send?
Because we wouldn't be aware if they wouldn't
so-
tell us.
So that's the thing.
Wherever
the system should tell.
If you have some global logging system, why can't that logging system trigger an email? That's the only thing that we are saying.
So you mean to say that, okay, when a ticket is raised and there is no response provided for 14 days, an automated mail should go to
the closure.
No resolution provided in say 2 days.
Okay.
Then a mail should be triggered to the right people.
Okay.
In the
Now,
system.
well, it cannot happen immediately because this is something that we would have to work on. But we are trying to do a lot of changes on the portal, and it is in there, and there's a lot of work that's happening there. So you would get to hear a lot of changes in the coming few months. So we would put this across to the board and tell them that this is the feedback that we've received, and if there is something that we could do to automate or some reminder that goes to the processor saying, this resolution has not been provided and the message is in queue for so many days. We would take this back as a feedback and we would get back to you with the details as soon as there are changes on the marketplaces.
So if I understand what she's saying, they're working on two levels again. So one is an interim level where they are trying to improve the processes so that immediate relief is there. And there is a secondary level where they are trying to change or trying to give this feedback collectively to the global team, where they can then see how the entire process can be managed or created better. So that's the feeling that I get.
So globally, we have taken feedback from all our customers globally, and I think this is the common feedback that we receive from most of our customers, and hence we are trying to make some amendments to the tool. Well, it is into process. It is going to take time. It cannot be happening overnight. But until then, we would recommend that if you could call the Customer Interaction Center with the note or a subject as an escalation, we would proactively monitor those cases, and we would get back to you and see that it is resolved within the limited time, and we could provide
as priority.
Yeah, we could place them on priority. We could
Yeah,
put
but
them on
for
radar.
that, my personal recommendation would be that then as SAP, you could send us mailers which give us this information, that this is the email ID, this is the phone number, because there's 10 customers over here, but SAP has 4,000 customers, or 5,000, I don't know how many customers you have in India now.
So that's something which we are already planning.
So if there's an email comes maybe once in a month, if you don't get this is the process, write an escalation, send a mail to person ABC.
Yeah, I think Mukesh is already working on it.
So we are already working on it on both the ways. One, through user groups, through Indus. So wherever we are having Indus chapter meet, the next 7-8 months, we will have someone from their team or a presentation explaining exactly this to all the members who are already in present. And you can probably you all have your own networks. So when you meet someone from your peers, in other organization, you can let them know. And we will also be sending out emails. The trouble with emails, sir, is that a lot of times people don't read those emails. They just delete it. So this is a longer route, but probably this is the one which will reach out to as many people as possible. So if each one of us can take it that we will inform 3 people in our network about this, then I think today we have about 10 customers here, so 30 customers will know. And the next city when we do the same thing, probably that's a slower way of spreading it, but for sure it will spread through, the message will spread through. That doesn't mean that we will not do the email campaign, that we will still continue to do for people who do read their emails. So both the ways we are planning to do that.
I think Mukesh, we also have that brochure which states what could be done and
So
when
we
it
can mail it out. Physical brochures which we can mail it out.
Yeah. I think this is a common feedback, and I think we would be working on it. But well, from our end, we also have some feedback. I mean, when we speak about delay in processing of messages, the engineers have come back to us saying, if you meet the customers, can you please tell the customers that this is the requirement? I know most of us adhere to the requirements, but then it's just to reiterate, there is something required from SAP engineers also to work on the tickets. Most of the times, the contact number that is maintained in the messages when an engineer calls, it's not answered. So the engineer is forced to put the message in customer action. Now he would have put it on a Friday, and then the customer would revert back on a Monday afternoon. So there is actually weekend support. There is no weekend support on a Saturday or Sunday. So that delays the entire process. Sometimes the remote connections are not open. The secure data is not maintained correctly. So when a processor is trying to log on to the system, they're not able to log in. So these are the few things that the engineers feel that needs to be addressed. And also when the messages get back into a customer action and if you're not happy with the kind of a response, please respond back immediately so that it gets back into the processor's queue saying you're not happy, and he could immediately revert back to you. But sometimes there is a lot of delay in messages when it is posted in customer action. It almost takes 10 days, 15 days, and the messages come back in customer action. And sometimes it doesn't come back, and the messages get automatically confirmed. And there is no way that we could reopen those messages. I think we do have something called as SMS notification and email notification when we create tickets, which would automatically send an email to you the moment the message gets into a customer action. So that would keep you updated on what's happening on your ticket, even if you're at home or on vacation, and you could have people helping you out.
Chances are people who be in office, if there's a sweaty call high, they can't be on vacation.
They better not be on vacation. So the reason why they are here is also because of the fact that in my previous meetings in Hyderabad chapter and Bangalore chapter, I heard complaints that there is this issue about support and speed of response and speed of closure. So that's the reason why we have started this initiative where we are trying to get both the support team and customers in one single room so that you can give them your feedback, they can give their feedback, so that collectively it has to improve, right?
Yeah, and I think we would also need to, there are two things that I want to add just before I close. First, when we create a ticket, we really need to select the right component. Because the moment a component is selected incorrectly, it just stays there because it goes to different queues and different organizations. So we have something called as a node search over there, which would actually tell you, which is the right component. In case you're not sure of the component when you're creating a ticket, please call us and we will tell you what is the right component. The other thing before I conclude is about the SDN community. I think it's a parallel communication that's happening from SAP, and there are a lot of initiatives that's happening on the SDN community. There is something called as a sticky thread, which is going to be introduced very soon on the SDN. So SDN community is a community in case you have any issues related to product, related to update and node releases, especially during the budget changes that we have. Because most of the customers create tickets and we're waiting for a node to be released, and the message just flies there. So SDN would give you a proactive update on what needs to be done when there is a legal change that's happening, what are the notes that needs to be implemented, when these notes will be released, and the sequence in which the notes need to be uploaded in the systems. So I think we would need to really follow up on the SDN as well as a parallel communication, because a lot of big things happening on SDN.
So I hope everyone knows what SDN is.
Yeah.
No. Huh? So
I
you're
think
not
we have
aware.
a video
So
there.
SDN is a SAP developer network. So it's an online community.
He is working on B1. Whether for B1 also?
Yeah, it is for B1 also. It's for all SAP products. So it's a SAP developer network where SAP employees, partner employees, customers, all of them come together. There's a lot of knowledge sharing happening, a lot of articles on products, on functionality, on features, on support. People could ask questions, if there is an issue. Like for example, you said there are issues. You can put your issues, you can explain what the issues are, and the larger community, if they know or if they have already faced such an issue, will respond back to you. So you don't even have to wait for someone from support to actually come back and respond to your questions. There is a huge community. We have about 4.5 million, if I'm not wrong, members of the SDN community, including every single SAP development employee.
Even from the support team, we are contributing to the community network.
Even though some outsider can also be logging in.
Yes.
After creating a login ID, he can log in also.
Right.
If he has his own, I'm having the ICN. But sir, I am having a one question right now. See, in this company we have selected Shape Business 1. It is a product which is running now.
It is a very active product, and that's something which is very, very critical for SAP's strategy going forward.
Because in Shape Business 1, we are having a lot of problems regarding the accounts and finance. Because of this, we are having a delay for 2 years in the implementation. We are right now having a almost 2-year completion and still in implementation stage because of very teething problems.
So I think this is something which you have written an email to me. If I'm not wrong, right? So I said that we can get in touch, and I will probably try to help you out. So that's something that we can probably, in the larger interest of time, probably we can.
In earlier 8 to 10 years, I am chartered accountant. In earlier 8 to 10 years, a full career, I am doing in R3 product, Shape R3. And in R3 and Shape Business 1, there are a lot of differences there.
Yeah. So there is a reason for that. Typically R3 is for huge organizations, right? And B1 is for small and medium organizations. The way business is being done in a small and medium organization.
See, for the accounting and finance process and the legal process are same for the both.
So I think probably
there are no changes in the TDS rules. Even though in Shape Business 1, we are not able to the TDS tax deducted through the system. This is not available.
Okay, so let's do this. As I had already requested you, let's sync up. I will see that someone from the B1 team is able to answer your queries.
Yeah, it is better because I want to have an interactive session.
And he would be able to assist him.
So we already have a contact who can.
You can get in touch with Rupesh Tiwari. He heads the business one team.
Okay.
And
Sitting at Bangalore.
He's in Delhi.
Delhi. He's in Delhi.
Rupesh Tiwari.
So I will connect you to them on email so that you have his email ID, phone number, and we can probably take it up from there. I'm sure that we have more than 2,500 implementations of B1 in India. So I'm sure there is some solution available.
These are running softwares. Shape Business 1 is running in the India.
Yes. 2,000 customers in India.
For Shape Business 1.
Yes.
And they are running comfortably.
Yes.
Comfortably, पता नहीं
After having a full view of the
अभी तो कोई ऐसे भी comfortably होता है even कुछ में भी
after having a full view of the Shape Business 1 system, there are lot of improvement required. There are lot of, even in though if we are having in the process of the passing of the any journal entry, any vouchers, there is no view of the general vouchers. You have to just post it, and after posting you have to see the what happened. It's just postmortem.
Yeah. So
first you have to kill, then you want to see. And after killing.
Basically, as far as SAP B1 is concerned, that is for only small organization where turnover is 15 to 20 crores.
Is it what? Something like a tele?
It is
no.
It is.
It's much more complex.
Even it's a small or big.
There are
no
change in the process of legal way.
Now whatever you have asked, basically what happens for SAP A1 or ECC6, what happens ki whenever you implement, at least basic requirement gets fulfilled the day you
because of legal environment in the India.
However, in B1 basically functions once you do the customization part also. For that, you have to hire the consultant who are basically experts for doing those.
The customization consultant has put a lot of limitations for him. So he say I cannot go in the window of the SAP even though I can create one additional window without rather than a change a window. So he
there is a limitation there.
So
he is right.
He is creating a lot of window in the same system and rather than doing some modification in the proper window.
No. Actually, there is a limitation there. They cannot change any SAP screen, any business one screen at all. Nobody can change that because that code is locked. So what partners can do or consultants can do is create add-ons. So typically, what happens in a B1 installation is they take B1 and depending upon their particular individual requirement, they have a partner either who has a pre-packaged add-on with it or builds an add-on for your particular requirement and then implements both together. So that's how B1 implementations typically happen.
That is the right thing you have said. I have in mind, without add-ons you cannot run simple business B1. Without add-ons, because sir,
I am not the right person to comment.
Sir,
so
if you see
I
the
will
process,
take whatever you say as to be right.
Sir, if you see the process with the business B1, they are even though not having the totals of trial balance, there is one thing also. Without having a total in the trial balance, how you can judge? So this is a simple process which is having for all the business organizations. Rather than you are using a say business 1 or R3, the process are same. You have to deduct TDS. It is the same for higher business or lower business. Though we are not having so much lower turnover, we are having at almost 150 CR turnover per year. But some customization team has advised to us, you have to go to say business one. It's a good product for your according to the business.
किसने इम्प्लीमेंट किया था आपका?
इम्प्लीमेंट किया नहीं सर, अभी तो चल रहा है 2 साल
पार्टनर किस
which partner? Some WMS is a company which they are having an implementation stage. WMS is a newly company, some newly WMS you heard?
I have not heard of that.
One company called ITIL. They are basically known as far as B1 is concerned.
Because we see product is very good, but some innovation or some capture is required, or some place is required about the knowledge.
And you can discuss one company called Uttam. They have also gone for SAP B1, but they
even though we have requested the implementation team, you can please plan a site visit so we can see the system running comfortably.
Maybe let's stop this discussion on this one. But maybe Mukesh, if you can help him, if you can just you said you have 2,000 odd customers, there must be some at least 20 customers in Delhi.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if you can just give him a list of those 20 and he can meet 5 of them, and I think that thing should be sorted out.
Sure. For the customization team company, we have said please plan one visit for us.
Abhi aap karwa.
Yeah.
In 1 week, at least give him the list and you can give him the contact numbers. And give him the contact number.
If it is better and probable for you, you will please connect to us. So we can more.
So that's what I said when you sent me the email. I responded back the same way, right? Saying that tell me what are the issues and I will connect you to the right people and connect to other customers. So that's something which is my action. I will connect you to the right guys. Who can then take it up.
I think we have 2 more people.
Yeah. So if you could just introduce us.
Why don't you come over there and just introduce, just pull your chair. Sasa chair.
Pratik, I'm from Anand Nishikawa.
Anand
Nishikawa.
Okay.
I'm a C consultant.
Okay.
Pankaj Pandey, FICU consultant from the same company, Anand Nishikawa.
So what solution do you use in your organization?
ECC, that SAP RD ECC66.
Okay. And what all modules have you implemented?
SD, MM, PP, QM, and FICO.
How old is the implementation?
It's 1.5 years old. We are still in the same implementation phase.
Okay, you're still in. Okay.
Implementation phase.
Yeah. So let's come back to 3 of you.
I just want to add one thing.
Yeah,
I just want to add one thing also. Suppose I have also worked in the support teams. What happens generally, some of the support teams thinks like that if we are posting this issue, it means it is really a issue and we are not able to solve this thing. And also the vice versa, they are even able to solve that thing, but they are doing that activity. So I am suggesting or asking, is there any place there we can see what type of messages or escalation is being done? So I can read there that the same problem is coming in my
SDN and SAP notes.
Is there anything that you can post this thing, and earlier it was posted? So mean to say that is a complete thing. If I am not getting the issue there, then I need to post it to SAP.
Absolutely.
So that is the process.
Create a message. You have something.
No, I am doing that activity. I am asking about that. Maybe there will be some another portal or anything that you are showing the same messages that it was given by the customer, and we are having the solution.
You just put
So
your error in Google. Yeah, it will show you.
that also comes to the SDN.
One Windows solution you can create many solutions. Just copy and paste. You are not the first who is facing this.
So it means whatever the problem is being posted in the OSS, you are just copying and pasting in the SDN. Is it the same thing? It's not. It's not.
See, there are two
I am
things here.
speaking about that
There are
point
two
only.
things here. So
It's
let me,
not.
let me just try to answer
because
and then you can add
that
maybe.
is the real point, that I am posting this thing to SAP. Mean to say my team is not able to do that activity, and it is critical for me. That's why I am posting, and after that I am waiting. I will get some response. So you were saying that we didn't get this and this. So what type of messages we should post? For that sake, I am saying if you are having a database, you can make a portal or you can do that activity that these were the real one, and if the same thing you are getting, then you should post.
There is available. There are two
This
things.
search option is also available.
He is saying about the SDN, but
No,
I am
I'm
saying
talking about two things. One is SDN. Two is there is something called SAP notes. So if you go and search,
you know
for
the
SAP notes,
numbers of SAP note. One
No, but-
cannot
no,
read and
you,
one even
you
for
don't have
one
to read
module.
all notes. You don't have to read all notes. So if you put the keywords of the problem that you are facing, it will throw up all notes which have faced similar problems.
There are lots
And
of
you
sites.
No, that is the way.
There is a one
Whatever
article
you are
box.
feeling the problem, just search on the notes first. Then only you should escalate in the SAP.
Exactly. So that's the process actually.
That is the process. That is the
process.
process. My point is totally different.
It's totally
If
a
you are
valid
getting
point, and we agree to it, and SAP knows about it, and most of the engineers are working on it to create knowledge-based articles.
Knowledge-based
which could be
articles.
cascaded to our customers, which could be utilized in case you face similar issues, which could help you. Rather than posting a message, you could go through the knowledge-based
From
article.
where I
understand.
can do this
But
thing
it
as
is
a
in process.
proactive approach.
It is in process at the moment.
It is in the process.
Yeah. So over to you.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So we wanted to also next 15-20 minutes. I know we're running a bit late, but 15-20 minutes on. So why do you guys do license audit, and how you want us to cooperate with you, and why we should not be too worried when you come here?
First of all, needless to say,
And any other questions anyone has? Very generic.
the